Okay, how about now? All right, now it's normal. I think, I think so. I had my earbud in and I set the default output to earbuds, and I think that for some reason that made its brain go crazy because now it's doing totally fine.
Hmm.
It was so fucked up though. It sounded like a spooky, haunted monster voice.
The worst kind of voice.
Yeah, I mean, in this context in which I'd like to hear my own normal human voice, a spooky monster voice is a bad voice to hear.
I mean, it's bad enough it's a monster voice, but a haunted monster voice?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a monster that is besieged and beguiled by ghosts.
That's extra bad.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Do you think that monsters would be afraid of ghosts, or would that just be like a minor nuisance for them?
I don't know. Now I'm trying to think about if orcs would be afraid of ghosts.
No, get out of here.
Oh, leave me alone.
I don't want to buy anything.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Movie Improvie.
Hello.
I'm your licensed and state board certified film repairman, Phil Stressman.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a licensed movie fixer. I'm a professional, experienced movie fixer with all the experience that you need to take your bad movie and fix it so good.
And I'm your executive film
Mm.
man.
Yeah.
James Kettler.
Hey, how does one? What's the career path to becoming an executive film man? How do you get that very
Well,
important and good job?
you start out as a regular film man.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know.
And a film man, if obviously I know because I'm an industry insider and I know all about movie.
Yeah.
But just for the layman, the folks at home who aren't up to snuff, what is film man?
Well, film man is man who do films.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Just makes them.
He does them.
Oh, he just does them.
He does films.
So, like a director directs films, an actor acts in films, a producer sort of facilitates the creation of films.
Right.
A writer comes up with ideas, writes films. Film man, he just does them.
He does the films.
Okay,
Without the
wonderful.
film man, there's no film because he does it.
It hasn't been done at that point.
Yeah.
And then an executive film man, how do your responsibilities as an executive film man differ from those of just your run of the mill average Joe middle management film man?
You look a lot bigger picture. It's a lot more about doing many films than it is about doing one specific film that you want to do.
When you say bigger picture, the big screen like an IMAX.
Yes.
That's
executive. You're literally making bigger pictures.
Okay, wonderful. Wow. So that's why IMAX movies are always better than regular movies, because you've got an executive film man behind the scenes there doing it.
Yeah, exactly. You always want your EFMs to be the ones doing it, not just regular old FM.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Excuse me. I've got the big picture ideas here. I can see all the way around the big screen.
I know what needs to be on it.
I'll be the one to do this avatar. Thank you very much, Lee.
Yep.
Great, terrific, and good. Hey, as you guys might have gathered from the intro, so have you heard of TV shows?
I have, Phil.
And some of those TV shows, they take something that's not great, and they take an expert and they put expert in there, and the expert fix it. I'm thinking of a show like Bar Rescue. I'm thinking of a show like Hotel Rescue. I'm thinking of a show like Kitchen Nightmares. I'm thinking of a show like Extreme Kitchen Rescue. Where they go into kitchen and they look around, they say, "This is bad kitchen. You did a bad job at kitchen. I shame you. I put shame on you." And the camera films it. And they say, "But look, I've got a lot of good idea about kitchen. I'm here to fix kitchen." And then they make kitchen better.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short is, that's what we're here to do for movie. Our mission last year, and you can listen to these episodes further down on this podcast feed. Our mission last year was to revisit films that we hated and try and find out, is it us? Were we bad? Were we the ones who were bad and wrong? The film actually good? And sometimes that was the case, wasn't it?
It was, but like 90% of the time it was not.
Yeah, other times we were in fact very smart and good and correct, and film was bad.
Yeah.
Against all odds, and oh gosh, I hate to say it. I hate to hear it. I hate to think it. Sometimes, James, movie is bad.
I know. Sometimes film men make bad movie.
Sometimes film men and ladies, let's not exclude ladies and non-binary folks.
You're right. Film men, pick a more gender-neutral term already.
Yeah, come on, film men. Like, it's 2018. Get your head out of the dirt. So, film folks. Sometimes film folks, despite all of their best intentions, and they do have very good intentions, they do try very hard to make good movie, but sometimes God just doesn't, that's not part of his plan. It's God's plan for your movie to be bad. You did a bad movie.
Yep.
And for decades, for hundreds of years, once a movie is bad, that's it.
That's it. It's a bad movie.
It's a bad movie. Nothing you can do about it. Dig a hole, put it in the dirt. That's it.
But not no more.
Correct. Because we're here to fix bad movie.
We're here to take our wrenches and our pliers and our other kinds of wrenches. We're gonna fix it up like the old jalopy you keep in the backyard that you're gonna get around to someday when you've got the time.
Yeah. Oh no, my grandpappy left me this old car with the house. I'm gonna fix it up and then I'll drive to store. Likely story.
You don't know the first thing about cars. Remember that time you had to call your mom to change your tire for you?
Mm-hmm. And then she died because she couldn't drive either. And now you're afraid of car. Well, guess what? We're here to do it.
It's what we do. We're film folks.
We are film folks and we do movie. Now, if you take a video camera and you take your camera into your backyard and you film that car for about 80 minutes or so, give that to us. Boy, howdy, we'll get that car running. Quick haste.
Yep. Quick haste.
So this being our first episode, I feel like maybe we should warm our little toes up a little bit in that cool water before we dive all the way in.
We're going to warm our toes in cool water?
Yeah.
How cold are our feet already? What's the starting temperature of our feet?
So what happened is your toes are hot.
Uh-huh.
Water cold.
Put them together, what do you got?
You got hot water.
You got warm water.
You got hot water around your toe area. And then, so that hot water that's around your toe area, because it has taken heat from toe, it then warms the toe back up. The more foot you slide into this warm water, the hotter the water get, and then the more a warm foot. And that's how you can gradually enter yourself in. Next thing you know, you got a nice hot bath.
Are you saying that people get in hot baths by just being really, really hot and getting in cold water and making it hot?
Correct. This is also a science podcast.
Now I know why you always got hypothermia when you take your baths.
I'm so cold. My point being, like, we don't want to just on our first time just dive right into a full entire film. We might sprain something.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do a little warm up. When you go to the gym every day and you do your exercises, what's the first thing that your personal trainer tells you to do?
Drink my protein shake.
What's the second thing your personal trainer tells you to do?
Take a shower.
Why would you take a shower before you start working out? That seems backwards.
You gotta be nice and clean, Phil. You got any dirt on you, it's gonna get in the creases of your muscles. It's gonna give you a nasty rash.
Is that a real danger?
Shower before, shower after, shower later that night.
What's the last shower for?
Comfort.
Oh, just a nice feel-good shower.
Mm-hmm.
I like to be in that hot, wet, warm room. Close my eyes, sing a song, feel at peace.
Mm-hmm. Think of an amazing new business idea that would be really stupid in any other location.
Ooh, like what?
Like, oh, what if printers could...
What if printers could?
What if we made printers?
What if printers could? For once, what if printers could?
The little printer that could.
In my opinion, they can't. Literally, since a week after I got my printer, I can't scan things directly to the computer. I have to use an app on my phone to scan it to an email and then email it to my computer. I don't know why. Brand new goddamn printer.
There hasn't been a good printer yet. We haven't perfected that technology.
No, but what if they could?
But what if we did? What about good?
Yeah.
What about printer but good?
What about Printer But Good? Is that a movie?
This summer,
Printer But
all your
Good.
documents will come out looking the way you want them to.
In a world where the ink run out so fast, very expensive. This time it doesn't.
One printer is going to change the game.
Stretching, though, is what I was getting at. That your trainer tells you to do before you lift weights. You got to stretch.
Ah, got it.
So let's close our eyes. Let's cross our legs. Let's put our hands above our head, and let's watch a trailer.
All right. Do I have to do
Stretch
all
our-
those things at the same time? Because if my hands are above my head, I'm not going to be able to click play on the trailer.
Just, you know what? You're overthinking it.
Okay. Oof.
So, the first trailer that we watched for this little stretch session, this little warm-up practice round, is the new trailer for a movie called Slender Man.
Who?
Slender Man is a guy who live on internet.
Uh-huh.
And he's very tall, he's very skinny, and wears a suit. Likes to hang out just on the edge of photographs, being very blurry, but always is near the children.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe what he does, James, you're a young millennial. You know more about the creepypastas than I do.
Mm-hmm.
I believe what he does is he convinces the children to harm the other children.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Is that the gist of it?
Yeah, that's the gist of the original story. He hypnotizes children into murdering other children, or just people into murdering other children, or like depending on, you know, the specific like Slenderman series or writing you're watching. Sometimes he like makes you wear a scary mask and like leave handwritten notes all over the place. Sometimes
He makes you wear
just
a
like
scary mask?
uh-huh.
Does he bring it with him, or do you have to get your own?
I think you get your own. I think
That's
Slenderman's like
bullshit.
hey, you work for me now. Go get a mask. You know, like sometimes
get
you
a
work at a
company-
restaurant and they're like, here's a t-shirt, $5, please. It's like, fuck you.
Wow. Real resentful about buying work uniforms. You know, you can write that shit off your taxes.
Yeah.
Business expense. Scary mask for boss Slender Man. Do you get a company card, or you just gotta like get reimbursed for that shit?
You get reimbursed, but it's not really worth it. He pays you back in the souls of children.
Who's Slender Man's HR department?
Slender Man.
Oh, so it's kind of a one-man show plus
Yeah.
you
Uh-huh.
wearing a scary mask. You get paid in the souls of dead children.
It's really more of a pyramid scheme than it is a legitimate business operation.
Ooh, okay. So this very bad movie trailer for Slender Man looks just like a kind of a boring
Like Ring ripoff.
yeah, it's like a run-of-the-mill, like it's a bunch of cuts to like maggots crawling around, and then here's a children's in the woods. Scary music plays. Where's the children's? The children's are missing. And at the very end, there's kind of a Slender Man, but it's not even Slender Man. It's
He's
just
not
a
even wearing a
slender
suit.
ghost. He's
Yeah.
not even wearing a suit. How are you going to go to your business, your Slender Man business, expect somebody to buy their own mask to work for you if you can't even get yourself dressed up in the morning? Come on.
That's not good.
I think the problem is movies are made where?
Hollywood.
Hollywood, USA, California. And you know what they do there? You know what they've got in California? All those Silicon Valley Google offices. Everybody wears, they're all wearing Birkenstocks and cargo shorts, playing ping pong all day.
Yep.
These
Too
guys
laid
see
back.
us. They're too laid back. These guys, these Hollywood Californians, they see a Slender Man in a suit and they're like, oh, who's that? My dad? No, thank you.
Just go with
Millennials
the
don't care
flow,
about people
brah.
in suits. James, it's a scientific fact millennials do not care about people in suits.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what makes the Slenderman so scary, Phil. We don't understand why he's wearing that suit.
I think it's because he represents bureaucracy, which does rob us of our childhood. Bureaucracy and red tape robs us of our childhood whimsy and capability for imagination. Instead, all we can ever think about is, what are the rules? What forms do I need to fill out? Kids don't care about forms. Kids don't go, hey, do you need this in triplicate and notarized so that I can go throw a ball around? No, they don't care. They just do what the mood strikes them. But Slender Man, he represents the adult world. He's in his suit. He's very tall, and he takes it away from you. He says, no, you can't go play in a tree, and a tree is not a rocket ship. Only grown-ups can build rocket ships, but you can't because you're a janitor now.
Go kill children.
Go kill other children. But again, you're not killing children. You're killing childhood.
By killing children.
By killing children because you're turning them into adults.
So when the police arrest you, you can just shout, "No, it was all a statement."
Well, no, I mean the story is a metaphor. The metaphor doesn't exist within the story. The story itself is the metaphor.
Got it.
So yeah, I think in the ideal Slender Man movie, you got a little kid. What's his name?
Franklin
just loves to play with all of his friends out in woods. They build treehouse. They ride bikes downhill. Oh, now we're not Franklin and Jessica and Rebecca and Daryl. We're the X-Men. It's us.
Yeah.
I'm Wolverine. Now it's
Daryl is also Wolverine.
They're all Wolverine, but in different costumes. I'm brown and orange Wolverine. Oh, I'm the black and white X Factor Wolverine. Oh, me, Days of Future Past, flannel shirt Wolverine. And all these
it's
Wolverines.
Me, 2001 Bryan Singer Wolverine. Daryl, you're the worst.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Daryl. I hope a Slender Man takes you. And then and the camera pans out, and out in the background, we see there's Slender Man. He's lurking in the woods. But he doesn't approach the children's. He lets them play. Until one day the children's come back to their playhouse, and what's happened to it?
It's been slenderized.
It's covered in red tape. They can't get to it through the red tape. And there's forms on the grounds of the woods with pens, and it says playing in fort form. And they have to sign a written statement that says, my name is Daryl, it is not Wolverine.
I understand that I am a human being and not, in fact, a mutant member of Charles Xavier's fictional X-Men team.
So Daryl signs the piece of paper because he wants to play in the house so badly. But then the next day the children come and Daryl's not there anymore. Daryl can't come out to play. We go to Daryl's house, ask parents, hey, where's Daryl? We'd love to play with Daryl, please. And a strange man answers the door. And he says, hello, I can't. There's no children here. Excuse me, I have to go to work. Guess who it is?
Daryl.
It is Daryl.
Is it Daryl?
It's Daryl. Slender Man.
Damn it, you spoiled the movie for me, Phil.
Yeah, big spoilers on all of these fixed movies, by the way, just before we get too deep into it. Any movie that we do repair here is going to come along with spoilers. So, if you're listening to this podcast, it's because you're interested in how movie do. So you got to expect it. You're going to hear the nuts and bolts. You're going to hear the nicks and crannies, and you are going to see how the sausage is made. And once you see how that sausage is made, then you know what's inside the sausage before you watch the film. So spoilers ahoy.
You're not going to want to eat our sausage.
You want to fix another trailer?
Yeah, what else is there?
Let's find out. What else looks very bad?
Have you seen the Rampage trailer?
I have not. Did that come out recently?
It came out like a month ago, I think.
All right, let's check this out.
Phil, I don't know if we can fix this one.
Had you seen that trailer already?
Yeah.
So this next trailer, James, you brought this trailer.
Yeah, it's the trailer for the film Rampage.
Based on the popular video game of video games.
From 40 years ago.
Yeah, describe that video game to me.
You play as giant monsters, you smash buildings. Whoever smash buildings fastest wins. Or maybe whoever smash most building wins.
I think most buildings, but I feel like smashing faster would get you more buildings in the allotted amount of time. I mean, that's just building physics 101. They teach it every architectural class.
Yeah.
James, this movie, we cannot help this this trailer. This trailer is perfect. It's a trailer for a perfect movie.
Yeah. So
It's unfixable.
So Dwayne The Rock Johnson has a gorilla friend
named George.
So, okay.
Presumably of a jungle.
The Smashing Pumpkins was not a half bad choice for the trailer theme song, but how did they not go with the George in the Jungle theme?
Maybe wouldn't have struck the tone that they were necessarily aiming for with this movie trailer. I have a question. Why does Brad Payton have such an erection for putting Dwayne The Rock Johnson into a helicopter driver's seat?
I don't know. Is that
the entire movie San Andreas is about putting Dwayne The Rock Johnson into the driver's seat of a helicopter. That's what that joke in the trailer was.
When he's like, "It's coming back to me." I get it.
It's because I also did this in another movie that people did not see.
So is it the same character?
Ooh, it's possible. I did not see San Andreas, so I can't speak to where that guy ended up at the end. It's possible that he did say fuck San Andreas, drive his helicopter into the jungle, and befriend a gorilla there.
An albino gorilla.
Was he albino? I thought he was just very old.
No, he was albino.
I thought it was one of those silverbacks that you hear about.
They're silver. They're not white.
Mm-hmm.
Phil, do you know that white and silver are two different colors?
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe the difference?
One of them is metal.
Yes.
Look, this is a movie improvement podcast. This isn't like a fucking, the jewelry show. Okay,
it's turning into.
I don't have to fucking answer to you.
This isn't QVC.
Yeah. Oh, this is a silver necklace. These are a white piece of paper. I don't know. Who fucking cares? It's not movie.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you. Gosh, you got me so riled up. Well, since we couldn't fix that movie, let's try and fix one more movie trailer, and then we'll get into the full-length movie that we will repair for this episode.
So I have a way to improve this horrible movie.
Well, real quick. So our last trailer is the Ed Helms starring live-action Woody the Wood. Is it Woody Woodpecker or Woody the Woodpecker?
Woody Woodpecker. That wasn't Ed Helms.
That was Ed Helms.
No, it wasn't. That was Timothy Omundson.
I swear to that entire trailer, I thought that was Ed Helms.
Nope.
Are you sure?
That was Lassie from Psych.
What the fuck is Lassie and who's Psych?
You've never seen that show, Psych?
Anywho's okay. So this trailer, Woody Woodpecker is a computer animation, and he is terrorizing live action people who do try to build a house in his woods where he lives.
I guess.
It's not 100% clear.
Yeah. He just wanted an excuse to do his laugh and peck a man's head.
So how you fix this movie, James? You seem pretty confident. You know how.
Yeah. Well, so I really am interested in the aspect that... So Woody opens the trailer. First shot, he says, "Remember me," implying that this is not like the grandson of, the Woody Woodpecker from Days of Old or anything, but in fact, the same Woody Woodpecker. There are pictures of this Woody Woodpecker in textbooks, right?
So you're saying he's been cursed with immortality?
I don't think he's cursed. I think he's the guardian spirit of this forest. Basically, I want to see Princess Mononoke, but the cool deer is just Woody Woodpecker. I want a movie about... At the end of this movie,
Woody Woodpecker gets his head sliced off with swords, and then black goop comes out of him and murders the entire forest.
Yes. That's what I want for my Woody Woodpecker movie. I want my movie about how Woody Woodpecker is an immortal, just, kind, benevolent forest spirit watching over all the cute little aminals until people murder him.
Okay. I want to tweak that just a little bit slightly because it is very good. And you are an EFP, and I don't want to step on your toes in this matter.
Mm-hmm.
What if Woody Woodpecker was immortal and he did guard the forest, but he wasn't born an immortal spirit? He was a woodpecker who got bit by a vampire bat and is now cursed with immortality. He's been alive for thousands of years, and he wishes for nothing more than the cold, sweet embrace of death. So it was foretold that he would be killed by the hand of a human man. So every human being he comes across, he just throws himself directly into their path and antagonizes them ruthlessly in the hope that they will be the one who can fulfill the prophecy and finally let him gain some rest.
But most of the time, he just pecks their eyes out.
Well, he's pecking their eyes out because he's like, please kill me,
Right.
strike me down.
Right.
And that pitiful sound that he makes, it's not a laugh.
It's a cry.
He's weeping.
It's a cry.
Woody the Weeping Woodpecker.
And we have our title.
But I also do think that when in the scene when Woody flies into the bedroom and pecks the man awake with his beak, and then Ed Helms sits up, he should absolutely have turned directly to the camera and said, "Talk about a morning Woody."
And that will be the clip they play when he is nominated for an Oscar.
Normally a morning Woody is a nice, good feeling, but I don't like this one at all. It hurts.
For those of you who may not be informed, a morning Woody is a term for an erection that some people use colloquially.
It's when you wake up already have an erection on your penis.
And so that's normally a nice feeling because an erection means you're aroused, but in this case it's bad because the woodpecker's name is Woody and he's unpleasant.
I'm not aroused by this woodpecker.
I want to make that as clear as possible.
For you, the audience at home, this woodpecker does not excite me sexually.
Not that others haven't. I don't discriminate.
That's true of me, the character that I'm playing. As for the real me, the actor, Ed Helms, I'm deeply sexually excited by woodpeckers. They're the most erotic of birds. They penetrate the tree, and it does excite me very muchly.
They used to call me old Woodpecker Peckin' Helms.
They did call me that because I did have sex with many woodpeckers. It's me, the star of Woody Woodpecker, Ed Helms. All right, hey, James, I want you to just jiggle your arms real quick. Feel them out.
Mm-hmm.
Kick your legs a little bit. Oh, roll your head around. Roll your head around your neck. How you feel?
Loosey-goosey.
Yeah, nice and stretched out, all loosey-goosey. I think we're ready to jump into it.
Mm-hmm. The main sauce.
We're ready to jump into the main sauce, that classic phrase.
Yeah.
And we're about to fix an entire movie.
The whole thing. Or at least the
thing.
part of it I watched.
James, boy howdy, we really have our work cut out for us this week.
Yes, we do.
We didn't start with a movie that was just a little bit not good. Or even just a touch. There was a boom mic in this one shot, but other than that, pretty good movie. We decided we were going to take it upon ourselves to fix a movie so fucking bad that
they've already greenlit a sequel to it.
So they did indeed. So many people hate watched this fucking movie that Netflix was like, yeah, I guess we'll make another one, huh? People really like to watch this bad movie.
They don't care about your motives. Views is money.
Let's maybe have a non-rapist write this one this time. But other than that, keep everything the same.
Yep.
We're here to fix a movie called Brigit, a.k.a. the Bad Orc movie.
The bad Will Smith orc movie.
The bad Will Smith orc movie, Brigit. Now, James, help me out, sum this movie up for me real quick.
So it's set in L.A., like in our world, and it's like our world, but they're also monsters there. So like they're orcs and elves and fairies and all your like Tolkien-esque Game of Thronesian type monster folk running around with peoples. And Will Smith plays a policeman officer who is paired with the first orc cop on the force, played by Joel Edgerton.
Who actually honestly does a pretty good job in this movie, I thought.
He does do a very good job. His makeup looks real dumb.
Yeah, but he manages to be super affable also through the makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he is an orc police, and the orcs are the oppressed minorities, and elves, they're the 1%. Just like
humans
in our
just
world.
in the middle, just regular folk?
Humans just regular.
It's the
just
default
like our
setting.
world. It's exactly like our world and how the races are. In our world, how we have races, only in this world, races is elves.
Mm-hmm. And orcs.
But in this movie, the orcs are on the bottom tier of society because of their own fault, because they chose evil.
Yeah.
and are actually 100% a different entire species from human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of, because this movie's message is so clearly about racism, sort of implies that rich people and like people of different races are in fact different different species.
Yes.
Whose
And they
fault
should be
it
kept
is that,
separate.
yeah. Kind of like, what's that movie with the cartoon aminals? Zootopia. Zootopia is a movie where a police is a rabbit, and there
Uh-huh.
are predator animals who
Yes.
people don't like because they are predator animals, and it's supposed to be an allegory about racism, but it's like, dog, crocodiles actually do eat rabbit. She's right to be afraid of crocodile. That's not the same. And if you think it's the same, then you are pretty fucking racist. Yeah, I didn't watch it. So
I did.
this movie does suck and is bad and is racist and is bad.
Yes.
But look, let's put that aside. Let's ignore that this movie is bad for now because we need to make it good.
Yep.
So how we make this movie good, James? How we fix it?
I wanted to propose a script flip.
Ooh, give it at me.
I want to flip this script.
I know what you meant.
I want to propose a script flipping. So instead of set in modern times cop drama filled with fantasy monsters, what if it's the reverse, where it's set in fantasy times, but it's filmed and shot like a regular old cop drama, but it's about like two dudes in armor on horseback.
So I do have that exact note here, actually. I wrote police procedural, but elf times.
Yeah.
So what we're watching, like, oh, it's the sheriff of Nottingham and he's training his new deputy.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, plot just the same. Here's orcs, we hate them. Here's elves, they're our boss.
No, or no. What about they're just like hunting a dragon or something?
You're just describing a fantasy movie now.
Yeah, but I want it shot like an episode of Cops.
Oh, okay. So it's like that movie Troll Hunter,
Yeah.
where it's a
little bit.
handycam footage of a man hunting fantastical beasts in the night.
Yeah.
So you get that visceral real. Remember that Cops episode of X-Files?
Yes, I love that episode.
So it's kind of like that. It's like, here we're filming this with a handed camera, but fantastical things are happening. Is the camera like real? Does somebody have a camera? Like, hello, I'm Sir John, and this is my young ward Paige, and today we're on our dragon hunting mission. This time, here's a news crew that's following us around.
Yeah.
From the Canterbury Tales is the name of the news paper.
Yeah, from the Canterbury Tales Times. Yes, but also I want it to be like, I want the police officers to be to treat every fantastical situation like the cops on cops treat every situation, just like it's very mundane and like they don't really want to be here. So like the dragon is flying around, flapping his wings and breathing fire everywhere, and the main character's just like, sir, we need you to land on the ground, sir.
That's very funny. I think that that would work better for me if the night cops. Do we have a better name for them than that? What are they called in the context of the film?
Knights.
The Knights. I like the idea that they are approaching these events as though they are mundane and blasé, but the events are also incredibly dangerous, and the Knights are constantly being killed.
Night
So
down, do you copy?
Knights.
Yea, verily, I copy.
Yea, verily, I copy. So okay, yeah. So you have like they're approaching the dragon. They're like, "Sir, I need you to calm down, please. Can you put your wings behind your back and walk in a straight line towards me?" And then he does cook that man and eats him in front of his friend.
Yep.
And his friend's like, "Sir, I need you to please put that officer down."
And then the dragon gets tased.
I had something similar. I had a similar idea that it's also, again, like a police procedural, like what's that other David Ayers movie? Not David Ayers.
End of Watch.
Yeah, no, not End of Watch. Yeah, like End of Watch, sure. Or no, I was thinking of Training Day, only it's wizards.
Cause Merlin ain't got shit on me.
And like it's a rookie wizard. And this one honestly could be modern times still. Not modern times. Yeah, modern times still, but they are wizards and they do use magic wands and they do know spells. But you've got an experienced member of the force. He's got like level 4 spells. He's got like fireball. He's got like, necromancy. And this new rookie, he's just level 1. He's got like some cantrips and that's about it.
Yep, and dancing lights.
They're getting out there into the streets and it's like, shoot, rookie, shoot. And he's like, ugh, and he just makes like a dancing skeleton come out of his wand. Does a bad job with the magic.
Yeah.
Magic is illegal in the real movie, in the movie Brigade. Magic is against the law. There's a special brigade to make magic no do.
Is that why you're allowed to just murder fairies?
I think they just hate the fairies.
They just hate them a lot.
I don't know. There's all sorts of living things that people kill indiscriminately without thinking twice about it. I don't know why the fairies are any different.
Because they look like tiny people.
Yeah, so do chickens. So another note that I have here is, in a world where wizard is crime, only criminals will be wizard.
The freer the magic, the freer the wizards.
Is that anything?
So just like they've outlawed magic, but now like the wizards are crime families?
Yes. It's
So
a
it's like
mafia movie now,
But wizards.
but they're wizards.
Yeah.
And they, look, if you want magic, just like cocaine. You want cocaine? By definition, cocaine illegal, you got to buy it from an outlaw, drug dealer,
Yep.
criminal.
Yep.
You want magic? Look, if you want, I'm talking everything from, I want my penis to be bigger, to I'd like a hen that lays golden goose eggs, to I want my wife's insurance turn her into a newt. You got to go to you got to get a favor from the families. And once you get a favor, you're in their debt.
They give you the kiss of death and just like all your skin melts off your face.
And then you do die. And then you come back as a zombie and they do control you because they are necromancers.
Yep.
And it could be like there's a war between the families and you've got the necromancy family over here. They control like the boroughs, and then over here you've got the enchantment family and they do, they've got all the politicians in their pocket because of charm spells. And then over in Chicago,
rolls.
You've got that illusion family. They're doing all the 3-card Monty on the street. They're making it look like the horse you bet on lost when it did not, in fact.
So you tear up your ticket and throw it on the ground, and then they pick up your horse ticket and take it back together and collect your winnings.
Yeah. But here comes the evocation family, and they're starting war because they have all the lightning.
Those bastards.
I like this a lot. I like this wizard mafia movie.
Yeah. So that's 3 solutions to fixing Bright so far.
Yeah, I mean, any one of those we could really run with and plot it out. I think let's throw a couple other pieces of spaghetti at the wall. The first one I have here just says, "Oops, all orcs." It's just orcs this time.
So it's just like a regular cop movie. It's just all the cops are orcs, but there's no like heavy-handed racial commentary or anything.
Everybody's orcs. The cops are orcs. All the people are orcs. Everybody's orcs.
The dogs are orcs. The birds are orcs.
Well, dogs and birds can be dogs and birds, but all the people are orcs. And all the orcs look exactly the same, and they dress exactly the same. But they do have races and strict social hierarchies that only make sense to the orcs and are not explained to the audience.
So there's all kinds of just awkward social situations that we're not privy to, where like an orc gets on a bus and like someone waves at him and he waves with his left pinky instead of his right one, and he's immediately like, "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry," and he switches pinkies, and we're just like, what the fuck is happening?
And then the police murder him, and they say, "You get off of our bus, you dirty bork." And they call him a bork, but he looks the same as everybody else to us, and we're just like, wait, why but he's okay. And then like another orc is walking down the street in a suit, and the police just roll up and they shove him against the wall and they pat him down. They're like, I know you're holding. What are you doing in this neighborhood? And he's just like, please leave me alone. They're like, shut your pork mouth. And I'm like, we're just like, what are we trying? I can't. He looks like the other ones though.
And then there's another orc walking down the street in an identical suit, and the cops pull up and say, hey, here's $100. Have a nice day.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like in our world where the cops give rich people more money.
Yeah. And he
God, I
seems
hate when that
totally
happens.
unfazed, but he seems totally unfazed and unsurprised by it, and he's just like, yes.
Because that would be the real, not to get too heavy-handed here, but that would be the real racial allegory, right? Because race is fake and made up. So in this world, it's just like that episode of Star Trek where they find the race of aliens where they're half white and half black, and the people who have like the white on the left side hate the people who have the white on the right side.
Yeah.
But to the Star Trek folks, they're just like, you guys are idiots and look the same. And they're like, but you to us look the same. Oops, all
And
orcs.
they all
just
learn a
orcs this
lesson,
time.
and Kirk and Uhura make out.
We all do kiss. So there's a fucking centaur in this movie?
I didn't get that far.
Yeah, and there's nothing, he doesn't talk. No one talks about him. I think it's near the beginning, actually. They're driving past the scene of some police doing something, and one of the police is just a centaur. And he's wearing a police uniform on his man half, and he has knee guards, like, what do you call those when you cover your knees up
Knee
for
pads.
sports? He's got knee pads on all of his horse knees.
When's
it.
that gonna come in handy?
I don't know, but more centaurs in your movie. You can't put one centaur in a movie. You can't have
need a bunch.
There's also a dragon in this movie that just flies over like a big shot of the city. Just dragon flies by, and that's it. No more talk of dragon.
Yep.
So another thing I have written down here is Spartacus, but horses, and then underneath that I wrote, but the horses are centaurs.
So Spartacus, but centaurs.
It's Spartacus, but horses, but the horses are centaurs.
What if centaur, but like both halves are horse?
No. Because that's gross to think about. Because then you just have a horse body with a smaller horse body coming vertically up out of the front of it, and that's disgusting. I don't want to think about that.
The horse is always looking behind himself.
Yeah, it's a hideous idea. It's a half horse, half centaur, and it's a monstrous creation.
Just always kicking.
Clawing and whinnying and starving to death, probably, because such a beast could not feed himself. You can't reach good grass and oats if your face is pointed always towards the sky. I guess maybe you can snag an apple or two.
Someone's just sprinkling them above you.
It's a hell. It's a hell world that you've created, and I'm mad at you for it.
You're welcome.
No, it's a world where they treat horses like we treat horses in our world, as slaves, but the horses are centaurs, though. And then the centaurs rise up against us.
Oh, got it.
So that doesn't sound like that's anything.
I mean, that's Planet of the Apes, but centaurs?
Well, yeah, I get yes. Planet of the Horses.
Planet of the Horsemen.
Planet of the Horsemen.
They do horses.
They do horses, don't they? Okay, I might have talked about this idea on a different podcast before because it's an idea I've been thinking about for a very long time and does live inside my brain. Reverse X-Files.
Fantasy characters investigating the dumb stuff humans do?
So it's a fantasy world, and in this world, elves are real, fairies are real, magic is real, orcs are real, dragons are real, Loch Ness monsters, we've got them, aliens, no doubt about it, big feet, by the thousands.
Okay.
And it's police officers, and one of them is Scully type, right? Always by the book, always, dotting her T's and crossing her I's. The other one's the Mulder. He's got a lot of weird ideas. So they come across the scene, and it's an orc, and his blood is all out of his body on the floor, and his guts are hanging out. His wife is there, and she found him and found the body, and she's got blood all over her hands. And then all the cops in the Scully are all like, well, obviously, a wizard cursed a spell
Always
on
a
him.
wizard.
A wizard did curse a spell on him and implanted a dragon egg inside of his body, and then the dragon was born out of his body and squished him up into his insides and has already flown away. And the wife orc is just nodding. She's like, yes, that is what happened.
Yep.
And then the Mulder type's like, I've got a theory. What if the wife hated him and stabbed him in the stomach a bunch of times with that bloody knife that's on the ground right there? And
they're
then
all
she
like,
just
don't
killed
be
him with a knife.
ridiculous, Mulder.
Like, that's fucking idiot. Who let this guy in here?
Just so he's crazy because he thinks like normal stuff happens sometimes.
But like Mulder, he's also correct.
Yeah. So they go on the alien spaceship and they're like, I don't know what happened to Grignock. I guess he just got sucked into a wormhole and the polarity of his atoms was reversed and he exploded unto himself. And Mulder's like, I think you shot him with a gun. And they're like, no, shut up, idiot.
No, there's powder marks on your finger and you're still holding the gun, and that's him, and he has a gunshot wound in his head.
I don't know. I think his atoms polarities were reversed.
Looks like illusion magic again to me. It's fake. He's an illusion.
There's not even a real body there.
Well, what do you think, James? You got any other spaghetti that you want to stick at the wall, or do you want to take one of these half-formed orbs of thoughts and just really run with it and plot it out into a full movie?
I want to make a movie, Phil.
Okay.
I want to dust off those old EFP boots and get doing. I'm
leaning towards television show cop style Nights in Elven Times television show.
Yeah.
But my concern is I'm not sure
well.
what else there is to say about that, because it wouldn't really have a plot. It would just be a series of events.
Either that or Wizard Mafia.
Wizard Mafia is really good.
Yeah.
I kind of like Wizard Mafia. I don't know. You make the choice.
This is movie Improvie, not TV Improvie. So
that would be absurd. All right, so let's make. So Wizard Mafia is not the best title. It is a good title.
It is. It's a little on the nose.
It's a bit. It's like Married to the Mob. Married to the Wizard to the Mob.
Married to the Wizard Mob.
I like Wizard to the Mob. Goodfellas, is that anything? Goodspellas.
Goodspellas might be it. I don't know if we can top that. It's
okay,
very
let's
good.
Let's go with Goodspellas for now.
Goodspellas also sounds like it could be a movie about like the secret mafia of children at an elementary school rigging the spelling bee.
Goodspellas.
Timmy, you're gonna bow out in the third round.
Yeah, you're gonna get the word's gonna be toad, but oops, you're gonna spell it with 2 O's this time, Timmy.
And then you'll get your money.
Actual pet toad. All right, so Goodspellas. So it's modern times, or should it be like history gangster times, like 1930s times?
Why not just a totally random time?
What does that mean?
Like the 1610s. So
they're like the Capulets and the Montagues?
Yeah, but it's still played like a mafia movie. But they're in like fair Verona.
I like the 1930s times.
Okay.
I want to lean into the mafia thing.
You want it true to the gangster style.
Yeah, I want to lean into the mafia thing. I want to make the fantasy stuff a color on the mafia stuff, not vice versa.
Got it.
That makes more sense to me. That's more intuitive to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think should we do it like Godfather 2 style, where it's like, this guy just came over from Wizard Town to the United States of America.
Wizard Town.
He's from
where all the wizards are from.
Yeah. It's because, like real mafia guys, they're all from Italy, or you got Russian mafia, Irish mafia. Mm-hmm. So this is like that. These guys are all from the Wizard Town, all from Wizard Country. Mm-hmm. And, it's like the Italians, like most of the big families are from Wizard Country. But like the Irish and the Russians, you've probably also got maybe a clan of barbarians who have their own little side thing going. Yeah. Or you know,
Some werewolves.
werewolves for sure. Werewolves, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it makes sense for our main character to be a guy just coming over, just fresh off the boat, fresh off, getting off at Ellis Island. Except instead of a Statue of Liberty being a lady, she is a literal living giant.
Who's just paid to stand there all day.
Yeah, just kicks
It's
it.
the
Waves
giant.
people.
It's the giant job equivalent of like being a sign spinner for a furniture store that's going out of business.
Yeah, or a Walmart greeter.
Yeah.
And it's not maybe necessarily the same giant every day, but she's just there, and she's hello, welcome to the United States.
Please to enjoy
these United States. And then he starts making his way up in the criminal crime scene. First doing small jobs,
just like turning wine back into water and then back into wine to get it past customs.
Yeah, exactly. Smuggling. Or, he's just being a gopher, just running out and getting
newt's eye and root of sassafras.
Yeah, exactly. Just snagging spell components for the bigger magicians to use. Meanwhile, trying to keep his nose clean, stay out of trouble with the law, who are paladins.
Ah, okay,
But this guy, he's ruthless. He's a sociopath. He's like a Joe Pesci in Goodfellas kind of a guy. He doesn't give a fuck about anybody. So he is, he's not only paying his dues with this mafia association, but he's also like studying every day, learning spells on the side, killing other wizards for power, sacrificing animals for dark favors from, the elder gods. And
can his dad be like a cleric?
Yeah. Dad is real, like, he came over with his parents who are, why would the clerics be from Wizard Town? I guess maybe let's skip the Wizard Town.
Magic Town.
Yeah, clerics do magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So his parents are good, hard-nosed, like salt of the earth clerics. They're just running their temple and paying alms to Lothander and just trying to get our boy a good education of more opportunity here in the real United States of America.
Yeah, they're like the parents from Footloose. They're like John Lithgow in Footloose.
They're pulling themselves up by their +1 bootstraps.
Yeah. They can't afford the +2s.
No,
they're not
but
that
they do,
well off.
They did save up for the +1s, which are the only boots you literally can pull yourself up by, because it is impossible with regular boots.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he ends up, and I think that evocation magic is banned. Just like how in old mafia movies, so it's like we run the girls and we run the gambling and we
run the alcohol.
We run the booze, but we don't fuck with that heroin stuff. We don't fuck with drugs. You fuck with drugs, you're dead to this family. It's like that. They're like, well, look, we'll do charms, we'll do illusion magic. We'll do, maybe it's not evocation, maybe it's necromancy. They're like, we'll make a fireball for you, but we don't fuck with them zombies. We don't bring skeletons to life and have them do our bidding.
You do that, you're dead to this family, and we ain't bringing you back as a zombie, so you're dead forever.
Yeah, because that would make us pretty hypocritical if we did that. If I see you with an army of skeletons robbing a bank, I swear to God, I'm going to cut your head off and throw it into a river. But I'll do it with an enchanted blade, because this is a wizard movie.
They're always just looking at the screen and going, because this is a wizard movie.
Because we're wizards, and this is a wizard movie. And then they sing a song, because it is a musical.
Oh, good. Who's going to write the music?
I think that it should be actually Billy Corgan.
Oh, okay.
So this is a musical movie about, it's kind of like Guys and Dolls. I hate that idea. It's not a musical.
Take it back.
I take it back because I do want it to be dark and gritty and real and bloody. I want it to be more Scorsese.
Mm-hmm.
And then so he's coming up, he's like kind of creating this like splinter group out of the families of all these young upstarts who want to. Why can't we use necromancy? Would be so powerful. We could take all of the, orcs' territory, and such and so forth. And where does this plot go from there? I mean, in the real Goodfellas, he turns state's evidence, right, and then flips over the feds.
Well, so I think that this whole time he's trying to keep his crime business from his increasingly suspicious cleric father, who's like, what's this guy's name? What's our main character's name?
Ooh, good question. What's a good like fantasy D&D name?
Balthar
the Incorrigible.
Balthar the Incorrigible. And he's got a romantic interest who's always going, "You're incorrigible," and he's like,
"Balthar, you're incorrigible." That's how she sounds too. Does she know? Like, she likes it, right? She's, she likes the magic. Like,
oh yeah, she's into it.
She's just like a half elf from the forest. Before she came to this country, she's living in like little half elf, little where are elves from? Little
Gondor.
She's living in little Gondor. Hanging her elven laundry on a line out the window.
I want to take that back. She's from the little North Pole.
Yeah, that is where elves are from, huh? She's from the little North Pole.
Uh-huh.
God, they got such great penguin restaurants there. Don't look in the kitchen.
Oh, they know how to serve a penguin in little North Pole.
Don't look in the kitchen, but those penguins are delicious. Yeah. But like, so she likes it. She likes the danger, She likes that he can make her jewels out of thin air to wear around her neck and impress all of her friends. Are there police sort of investigating a rash of skeleton crimes? They're like, look, magical crime has been skyrocketing in this town lately. All the families are at each other's throats. I think there's going to be a war between the families.
Yeah.
Like, we got to find out who's responsible. Whoever it is, they're dealing with the dark arts. We keep finding loose finger bones in the vault of every bank that's been robbed. Pretty sure it's skeletons.
And so this whole time he's like keeping a secret from his dad, and like it kind of seems like this might be a corruption story. Like, oh no, this nice young man getting caught up in all this crime wizardry and like going bad. But the twist ending is nope. Turns out he was a sociopath the whole time, and he frames his dad for everything.
Oh shit, that's dark.
Yeah.
And then in the end, is like the last scene of Godfather, where you realize that Michael Corleone is actually bad. He's on the dark side now, and he's sitting in that seat, and everybody's like kissing his ring, and the camera sort of like backs out of that doorway. So it's just like that, except he is in wizard robes, and the only people who are like paying tribute to him and kissing his hands and stuff are skeletons.
Yep. Cut with his dad being drug off to prison, to wizard jail. To serve for his wizard crimes.
Yeah. And then in the sequel, I think maybe Dad's going to learn a little something or two in prison, come back for revenge.
Oh, for sure.
Sort of like a reverse Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader. My son's the bad one.
Yep. Gotta kill my son.
Just Kylo Ren, huh? Didn't see that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that is just Kylo Ren.
All right. I feel really good about that. Should we cast this thing?
Yes.
What's his name again? Blovar the Incompetent?
Balthor the Incorrigible.
Who's our Balthor?
It's got to be someone slick, someone real charismatic and charming.
Young, slick, charismatic, with an edge. It's got to be a young up-and-comer, I think, for sure.
Miles Teller.
Yeah, he's a creep.
He
is 30 years old now. Do you feel like he's a bit old?
Is he really
the worst
30?
thing... He's 30. The worst thing about Goodfellas is how... I mean, there's bad things about Goodfellas, but one of the worst things about Goodfellas is Ray Liotta was way too old to play that character. Like,
Yeah.
he was so miscast in that role. I don't want to make that
Mhm.
same mistake with Goodspellas.
Yeah. Okay. What
Because James,
about?
we're here to improve movies. We're not here to, step in the same dirty holes that the past has been waiting in.
What about the Oh, I forget his name. He plays the douchebag boyfriend in Lady Bird.
Oh, see, that might be too
Timothy.
young.
Timothy starts with a C.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, I think it might be like Chalamet. I think it might be French.
Timothy Chalamet. Yeah, that might be good. He is 22. Do you think he's got that leading? Do you think he's likable enough? I feel like this guy. Yeah, it might be him. I feel like he could definitely be in it. I feel like he might be more of like the sleazy, wisecracking best friend. Am I wrong?
I don't know. I mean, I've only seen him in the one movie. I didn't see that movie with him and Armie Hammer, but I heard he was really, really good in it.
No, okay. Let's go with.
Wait, let me throw one more idea at you.
Okay.
Let me just throw this out there. Grant Gustin.
Too old. I still think he's too old.
He's only 27.
Grant Gustin's only 27?
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, hold on. Let me think about this. Yeah, man, it's a really good idea.
He can play the hero, he can play the villain.
He can. I mean, he could make that dark turn so believable.
Yeah.
Where like, because for the first half of the movie, you're like, this Balthar's just doing what he has to do to get by. Like, he's just a kid. He's making mistakes. He's hungry for power and recognition, but he's not evil. And then once he throws his dad under the bus and you see his eyes go cold and you're like, fuck, it was him. It was Balthar the whole time.
Yep.
Maybe there's kind of an underlying mystery where they're like, yeah, there's skeleton robberies and stuff, but there's also been gruesome skeleton murders. And as an
like
audience,
people being murdered by skeletons or people murdering skeletons?
No, people being murdered by skeleton. People being murdered by necromancy. And the movie is trying to make we're trying to make people think like, oh, it's Timothy Chalamet. He's this like creeper friend who's maybe like kind of encouraging Balthar to down this dark path. And then once he throws a dad under the bus, we sort of see things from his perspective and realize, oh shit, it's been Grant Gustin this whole time. It was always him. Fuck yes. Yes. Okay. It has to be Grant Gustin. Timothy Chalamet is the best friend.
Who seems like the obvious bad guy, but is the red herring.
He's the red herring. Yeah. Okay. All right. I like it. So who's our dad? We got somebody for the cleric dad.
The fella that plays Grandmaster Pycelle from Game of Thrones.
Possibly too old. 100% absolutely 1,000 years too old. But I do think
wizards age differently. What if he's actually like 40? He just looks like that because he's a wizard.
No, I don't like that, but I do like Julian Glover as maybe the head of the biggest crime family, who's very old and stuck in his ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And Grant Gustin has to murder him with skeletons because move out of the way, old man. I'm in charge now.
And I think Julian Glover's character's murder is maybe the inciting incident behind like the ratcheting up of tensions between the families and like this war that's going down.
Yeah.
And no one knows who did it, but that was also definitely Grant Gustin. And I think that Grant Gustin's character is like Julian Glover is like mentoring him, and he's really like a second father to him. So I think Grant Gustin's character betrays both of his fathers in this movie. For the cleric dad, here's what I want. I want an actor who is getting a little bit older now.
Okay.
Believable, like in his 40s, believable as Grant Gustin's dad, but hasn't really had his big like older actor role yet, his big like dad role yet. You know what I mean?
Chris Evans.
I don't. He's only 36. He's only 9 years older than Grant Gustin.
Sean Connery was only like 11 years older than Harrison Ford.
Let me think. I don't love it. It's not really speaking.
It's not grabbing you.
No. Chris Evans does have that nice aw shucks salt of the earth kind of vibe to him.
Keanu Reeves.
Ooh, yeah. that kind of fits all our criteria, doesn't it? He's
Mhm.
53. He's really likable.
He's very salt of the earth.
Yeah, he's very salt of the earth. Look, I don't want any kind of magic but healing magic in this house. We're here to serve Lothander and work for a living. You stay away from those gangsters.
Balthar.
Stay away from those gangsters, Balthar. Okay. Couple more. I want the love interest. Does it have to be a lady? We are casting a white boy, male lead movie. Pretty run-of-the-mill right now. Let me throw this out there. Let's say the love interest is not a lady.
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, that's really good. So Michael B. Jordan is our half-elf. Put some little elf ears on him. He's from the woods. And yeah, he's the one who's like, oh, these big jewels? I don't know. My boyfriend got them for me.
It's whatever.
It's whatever. Yeah. That big, cute, important gangster over there, that's my boyfriend. No big deal.
That's my boo.
That is my boo. Yeah, no, I like that a lot. Okay. Michael B. Jordan's the love interest. Grant Gustin's the lead. Timothée Chalamet is best friend / red herring. Keanu Reeves is dad.
Julian Glover's the head of the crime family.
Yeah. The last two that I want to do, I want to cast a mom, and I want to cast our Kevin Costner in Untouchables. I want to cast the paladin investigator who's hot on his heels.
The Elliot Ness.
The Elliot Ness. Yes, thank you. Elliot Ness, let's do this. Let's have that be a lady.
Okay. Is she like Elliot Ness? Is she like the hard-nosed detective, like, I'm gonna get my man? Or is she more like a Sherlock Holmesian, like, eccentric weirdo who's hot on this case?
Let's do both. Let's have them be a team.
Okay.
So our Elliot Ness is a paladin. She's notes to the grindstone. I don't fuck around. I've never even taken a healing potion.
Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton. Okay. I like that. And then she's teamed up with an investigator who, look, we brought in a special expert on this one because this seems like it's way out of our league. We need someone who knows magic. We need someone who's been in the shit. It's like when in like hacker movies where they're like, this guy used to be the biggest hacker, but now he works for the FBI.
Right.
But he's also like a super smart Sherlock Holmes investigator. This guy's like, you know what? I became the best wizard, and then that got boring, so I decided to take down the worst ones. But it is also a lady.
And it's also Tilda Swinton.
I don't love that idea. Why would it also be Tilda Swinton? What narrative reason would there be for that?
Who says there needs to be a narrative reason? She's just playing a dual role.
I was thinking Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, I like that a lot too.
Yeah.
That's a really good pairing.
She's chaotic, neutral, sorceress.
Yeah.
Switch sides. Now she's working to bring down the evil magic users.
Yeah, okay.
But
I like that a lot.
Boy, howdy, you never know what she's going to do next. Buy the book? She's never even heard of the book.
She didn't read that book.
Fuck yes. Okay. All right. Last role we need to cast is the mom.
Okay.
Now I think the Keanu Reeves is sort of the dad. Salt of the earth, knows the grindstone. I think that he probably sees Grant Gustin's character as he'd like him to be. He sees him like the audience does.
Mm-hmm.
He sees his son through rose-colored glasses. I think that the mom is a little savvier. I think that, she loves her son. She'd do anything to protect her son. But I think she has maybe a clearer idea of
what he's up to.
Not what he's up to necessarily, but who he is.
Reese Witherspoon.
Okay, Reese Witherspoon is an interesting choice. Is she still working? I guess that doesn't matter.
Yeah, she was just on Big Little Lies.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Reese Witherspoon. It's not exactly. It's close, but don't know if that's right. Oh, I know it. Fuck. Gina Torres.
Yeah, I knew that name.
Right?
I had to remind myself who that was. Yes.
She's a fantastic actress. She's about the right age.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got that sort of, as a performer, she's got that sort of underlying intelligence that kind of is always able to communicate that, she sees right down to the core of people.
Mm-hmm.
And that does, casting her as the mom does make me really want to recast the dad as Alan Tudyk, but we're not going to do that because Keanu Reeves is too perfect.
No, yeah. I mean, we already called Keanu.
Keanu, I'm sorry. I know that you're on speakerphone. I was just talking out loud. My man, I'm so sorry.
It's cool.
It's cool. I'm just eating a sandwich. Get it? Remember? Because he does that.
Yep.
He's always eating sandwiches.
He is.
Like people, how they had to, how they had to CGI Henry Cavill's mustache out of Justice League.
Yeah.
Every movie Keanu Reeves has been in since 2006 has had to have sandwiches digitally edited out of every scene that he's in.
That's how they made the whole John Wick series. They just filmed Keanu playing with his sandwiches and then turned it into a gun in post.
If you watch that, if you zoom in on that 4K version of that movie, you can actually see lettuce sticking out under the trigger. Loves to play with his sandwiches. He's such a whimsical guy.
You can see there's a couple shots where he's just got a little dab of mustard or mayo on his lapel.
Oh man. All right, we did it. We made a movie. We took Brigitte, we root all the bad parts out of it, put a bunch of good stuff into it.
Like Grant Gustin.
Like a haggis. Or Grant Gustin based haggis. And we have made ourselves Goodspellas.
I forgot that was the title.
How do you feel about it, James?
I still love it. I still think we also need to write Goodspellas, the children's spelling bee mafia movie.
Yeah, that'll be like our Halloween 3.
Okay.
It'll be the sequel that has
same series, different plot.
Yeah, same name, totally different plot and characters. So yeah. Goodspellas 2 is going to be about Keanu Reeves getting out of prison and bringing his son down once and for all.
Goodspellas 2, John Wick 3.
Goodspellas 2, John Wick 3 will be the sequel. And then it'll be Goodspellas 3 Back to School. And it's just totally different characters in modern times with no magic or fantasy stuff whatsoever. Just about kids who make a gang and then fix a spelling bee.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Terrific.
We got a whole fucking franchise planned out.
I feel really good about it.
Yeah. Because if I've learned anything, it's that when you plan your franchise out that far in advance, it can only work out exactly the way you want it to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't think of a single counterexample.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, James, I think we've done it. I think we've solved this one.
We improved the movie.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you, my beautiful brother.
Thank you, Phil.
I guess this will be the part of the podcast at the end where we say thank yous, right?
Yeah. It has to happen.
Thank you for listening. I don't know how you found this podcast. Maybe online. Probably online. Definitely not on like a tape in the street. Although I will be scattering those all around the greater Portland area.
You should. That's a very Portland thing to do.
So I real quick because my headphones are dying. I want to say thank you to Qusic for the use of our song Dragonfly. I don't know where to find more of their music because I found this song on the Free Music Archive and Googled them a bunch. Could not find anything else about them. So I guess Google Qusic, and if you find them, then download their music or buy it, hopefully. But getting back to what I was saying, you may have discovered this song because you already were subscribed to the Haters Cast feed, which has now been transformed into the Movie Improvie feed. I hope you stick with us. I hope you like this episode. I think it's going to be really fun and funny going forward. Tell some people about it. Rate us on the iTunes, get the word out there. Help us not only improve movies, help us improve lives.
Mm-hmm. Unless this is the distant future and you're listening to this on a floppy disk that I buried in a time capsule.
Yeah. In which case, the code is 74HY. Gibraltar. You have until Tuesday. Bring the herbs. Anything else?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy 2018. The year of Doge.
The year of what?
It's the year of Doge.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Much year, so good.
Much year, so good. Go pet a Doge. Befriend a doggo on this year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Listeners, your
Befriend a
homework for this
doggo
entire
on this year.
Yeah. Your homework, listeners, is to befriend as many doggo as you can over the course of this year. I want evidence that you have more doggo friends at the end of this year than you did now.
They
Go
can be
for it.
floofers, borkers, yappers, yippers.
Yeah, I don't care if it's just a tiny little Beebles or a big old Timberley. As long as you are friends with that dog, you have made the world.
You're a world man. You did the world.
You did the world. You're a world person.
Oh.
All right. Until next time, gang.
Goodbye.